Hello my great people, this is the Future Talk Show, and as always we help you shape, define and establish a sustainable future. Today's topic we are talking about arts and how it has been integrated to save the environment and also create employment amongst youths. Before we start, make sure you subscribe, share, comment, tell us anything. If you have a guest you'd want us to bring on board or anything that would give us an insight on how we can best improve this show, we would really love it. And don't forget to smash the like button and also click the notification bell to be notified every time we upload. Today our guest in studio is a group of very innovative youths, and welcome to the studio, guys. Kindly introduce yourself, guys. And I know in Africa or in according to Wazungu, it's ladies first. And today we have a humble lady here. I want to give her the first priority.
Thank you for having us. My name is Ordia Akello. I'm a co-founder at Wolf Arts Kisumu.
Thank you very much. My name is Raymond Odhiambo, the founder of Wolf Arts Kisumu.
Thank you. I would really love to know more about Wolf Arts.
So Wolf Arts Kisumu is a social enterprise that is passionate about the regenerative and conservation agenda of Lake Victoria. We are a group of youths who are mainly artists who came together and decided that these items like tires and clothes and plastics that find their way into Lake Victoria can actually be used to make economically viable products like the ones you're seeing before you here today. We passionately work with women and youth around the slum areas to ensure that they are actively engaged in the environmental conservation of the area.
Thank you, Ray and Odia. Why did you guys decide to name it Wolf Arts? Why not an antelope or a lion or a giraffe or a hippo? Now that you're from the lake, why didn't you just call it a hippo and most of your stuff revolves around the lake?
Thank you very much. I think all the animals have a symbol of different things and it means a different meaning to other people. But to us, we narrowed it down to Wolf.
Yeah.
It's an animal with a very good character in leadership.
Yes.
Especially, I call myself Wolf because of the leadership skills that the wolf have. For example, if you look at how they protect their territory from other strangers and even from other animals, I think it's viable in our arts activity. One, the wolves normally keep the weak in the middle. The strong will always be at the front and at the back, so that the weak are protected from any predators who may attack them, who may find it easy to damage the weak. So that is what we are trying to incorporate in our art group, to make sure that those people that are still having low skills, that are still learning, we are protected with people that have more skills, that can develop them to more important skill people, so that we grow in a group. That's why we chose to have Wolf.
Wow, amazing.
So we have a symbol of climbing. Yeah. So we keep on climbing. In our group, we keep on climbing. No one goes down.
So it's a wolf climbing on top of something.
So we are climbing towards wolf mentality, so that all of us may have that wolf mentality of protecting each and every person, protecting our territory in terms of skill development, and even protecting the team that we have. No one leaves before they are finalized with better skills.
And I would really love to know, this art thing, is it something that you guys ended up knowing along the way, or where did it all start, the issue about arts? Let's start with you, Ray.
So I must say that to me, as the founder of this group, arts is passion. It's something that I started a year back when I was in high school. I used to go for science congress, and I emerged the top student up to national level because of recycling. I used to make spider using a hot plastics, especially the polythene bags. So it's something that grew in me, and even my profession doesn't lie with the arts. I did counseling psychology, but reaching at a stage where I was looking for a job, I found it fit to follow my passion. That's why I diverted to work on arts, and actually we find easy doing arts than the other thing that I learned in school.
Wow. What about you, Odia? When did you realize your love for arts?
I think it started also just like Ray mentioned at a young age, and some people may say it's innate. So I would love creating things with my hands. I would probably make a flower using items I collected or a wall hanging. So that innate passion led me to join Ray, we met up with in town, and decided, okay, this is something that is actually viable and we can bring together youths to ensure that they are not only well engaged doing the right things, but they're able to also get income from it too.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm meant to believe that before you guys came together, you used to be doing something before you came together to settle on WOOF. What, Raymond, what was it that you used to do before?
All right, just as I mentioned, I am a counseling psychologist. So I had a passion for arts, but due to the demand that I was given, let me say not demand as such.
Is there something you used to do that was financial that would bring you food in the table?
Yeah. Let me say before we started this, I used to volunteer at Kenya Red Cross Society and supporting the community. So I was seeing the need arises each and every time community are in trouble, they lack food, they lack any other thing that they would use, necessities. So I decided to create my own so that I can have them employed. I can have young women that are desperately looking for jobs and are doing odd things that would really diminish their lives to bring them back into something that is meaningful. For example, let me give a brief. For Kisumu, there's something that cropped up, women selling their body for fish.
Yes.
Is fish for sex.
Yes.
And so many organizations came in to actually support and see women grow out of such kind of situations. So this is one of the things that I decided as myself, how would I support the community apart from the Kenya Red Cross that I was working for. So we decided to create this group. It started small and we used to sell by the roadside. And after learning from other people and actually gaining more trainings through the well-wishers, we managed to have the right skills on how we can manage our people. So we started small, and that's how I met Audria. We talked about it, and she took it up, and we now have a group of close to 10 people, and we are growing each and every day.
Yeah, just before you go any further, what about you, Audria? What did you used to do before this?
So I have a background in communications. So previously I was a communications officer with a firm in Nairobi, and essentially WOOF Arts started in 2015. But just as Ray mentioned, it has undergone a metamorphosis from selling in the streets, but despite the fact that it has metamorphosized into what it is today, we are still passionate about engaging with women. And I have used a lot of my communication skills. I have used a lot of my knowledge which I gained from working as a communications officer and a fundraising manager for a firm in Nairobi to articulate those needs for this startup and even for the women we support.
Wow, that's amazing. And why was it important that you have women coming on board in this?
Since time immemorial, women have been known to be change makers, and so we passionately work with women because we believe that they actually experience firsthand the effects of poverty. They actually experience firsthand the effects of environmental degradation. So a woman in the Lake Shores of Victoria has probably, and we all know that they gain their economic livelihoods from the lake. We all know that they either use that water for basic use at home. So when that water is dirty, you find that it's a woman who has to undergo the stress of making sure it's clean and suitable for use at the home. It's that woman who has to ensure that she's able to get fish from the lake, despite the fact that there are growing concerns that there's overfishing, and this overfishing is because of the increased population. So we work with women to ensure that despite these challenges they go through, having reduced fish stocks, having low incomes, and having low incomes which are as a result of reduced fish in the lake. We ensure that they don't have to sell their bodies in order to get money to take care of their families. We ensure that they actually have a chance to gain economic stability through more creative means like these as we have showcased here.
Wow. And you mentioned you started back in 2015, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, how many group of youths and women do you have?
So right now we have a group of 15, but when we were hit by Corona, we had to reduce the number because if you bring in more people and they're not getting something at bay because sales went down, we could not do much because of the keeping rule and safety issues. So we decided to reduce the number to 10. So we have 10 working group that are there. And we also have the 5, they're still part of us. They are backup when we have more jobs. So we call them as part-timers.
Or part-timers. Yeah, and it's good that you've talked about Corona. I would really love to know how was life before and after or during Corona. Yeah, in terms of how you made your sales, in terms of how you obtained raw materials for this, for your arts.
Okay, I can just say that bit of the thing that was affected so much on our side was sales. But production was, I can say it was humble time for us to produce more and more because we had a humble time working from home and we could even organize people because our raw material we depend on Lake Victoria. So people that live around Lake Victoria, we could still get some people that we get the raw materials and come and do more jobs. So I must say that only sales were affected, but not the growth of our products. Yes, so to us it affected sales, and we depend on sales so much for survival. We also depend on sales for growth of our group.
So what is your main raw material for most of the arts that you do?
So as Ray has mentioned, we rely heavily on products or items from the lake. So one of the items we use are papyrus reeds, and this is important because there is a growing need to cultivate or restore the wetlands. So the more we use papyrus, the more we are increasing the aquatic life in the waterlands in Lake Victoria. We also use tires, which people discard on the lake shores, and this is evidenced from the items you can see here. Apart from that, we also use water hyacinth, and this is also used to make the chairs and even tables. We also use the water, we also use the waste clothes. So clothes that people who probably use to wash their cars or wash their motorcycles, and they discard them in the lake. We pick those up and make these vases with them. It may not look like a cloth right now, but trust me, this has been made using waste cloth. So another product we also use is motorcycle tires and bicycle tires.
Wow, that's amazing. And so this is all your artwork.
No, this is just a sample because we have even a lot on oil drums. We started using oil drums recently. There are oil drums that are found at Pepe. It's a common place in Kisumu. So when they're dumped there, after oil being transported to those places, the plates are dumped there. There's nobody who is using them. So we also ventured in this so that we can recycle them and make something which is unique out of it and also earn a living from it.
Okay.
Plastics, which are also a menace, are another raw product we use.
We are taking a break, and upon coming back, we'll be discussing how you guys get your latest design, how you get information on how you get your latest designs. I don't know whether you have that. But then this show is brought to you by Arc'teryx Media. Arc'teryx Media is a freelance media. They're doing videography, photography, and audio recordings. You'll want to check them on social media, on YouTube. Just look for Arc'teryx Media. You can also check them on Instagram as Arc'teryx_media and also on Facebook as Arc'teryx Media. Thank you very much and see you in a short while. Welcome back. As always, this is the Future Talk Show, and I'm your host, Kelvin Odiwar. And we were with our guests from Wolf Arts, and we were discussing about how arts has been used to save the environment and also create employment amongst the youths and also women around there, the Lake region. Yeah? And I would really love to know why was it important that you guys also just focus on the part of waste management. Why was waste management a big issue for Wolf Arts?
So I can say that managing waste has been a problem in the entire country, not even Kenya and even other countries. So to us, to narrow down to Kisumu, it is becoming a problem, and we are trying to come up with a different mechanism on how we can manage waste. Especially we are protecting our lake and her surrounding Lake Victoria. Mm-hmm. So we found that so many waste are being driven to the lake through the rivers, and they come from slum areas. Others are just dumpings by individuals in the lake. So these are what we are fighting, and it's a problem that is affecting the whole community and even where we live, where we come from. So we can't evade it, and we developed a passion of physically removing those things out of the lake and finding a way on how we can recycle them and make meaningful thing out of it. That is the art product you see, and also selling them to generate income from them.
Amazing. I can see some good art here.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. There is this notion that arts is for the non-educated, and there's how this is dividing people into groups when it comes to how people are working. What would be your say on this?
I personally think that anyone can engage in art, and it's just our culture. We were raised to believe that effective or blue-collar jobs or white-collar jobs are the ones which are meaningful. But even this job of collecting, it might seem as a dirty work, going to the lake to collect the tires, to collect dirty waste clothes, to collect plastic, to collect paper. It may seem dirty, but it's also very meaningful, and it definitely pays. If we look at our history from where we began to where we currently are, I believe we have grown in so many ways. And so I would urge all the youths to engage in art and not be afraid and say that, oh, it's too dirty. As a graduate, I can't engage in collecting items from the lake. No, it actually pays very handsomely, and the market is just not locally, it's also internationally. So you can imagine.
And even to add on it, if you talk about the population that the government can employ, it's just a few number. So we are urging young people to bring their skills that they have learned in school. For example, Odia talked about something to do with high educational background. She's a master degree student. So she has a communication skills that she's brought into the business. I'm also a psychologist. So I'm using my...
Some are killing a customer.
No, it's not definitely that. It's just to bring everything that I've learned in school to make meaningful things that we are doing over here. So it's not about thinking about humans alone. These are products that we also need to think about psychology-wide. So if we get those people with different skills, even accountants will do better job over here because they will keeping our records of how we sell and buy and how we connect with other people. So we are calling upon young people that this is not a dirty job. Bring your skills and ensure that you involve yourself in things that would help you even in the future. And apart from that, we are talking about employment. Every time we think of people employing us, why can't we employ other people? Yeah.
Okay, that's very amazing. And I know this sounds awkward, but does it pay? Does art pay? For anyone who is asking that question before they delve into it, does it pay?
I think Odia mentioned it very properly. We are comfortable because we started small. I know when you are enduring the entrepreneur process at the very bit, there were no sales realized at the time, but we persisted. We kept on pushing each and every time. So right now where we sit, we even do international sales. So that means that our market has grown, and we are actually advancing each and every day and learning on how we can connect with even other people, on how we can make use of this recycled water hyacinth and everything that we are doing over here to sell. And we are urging people to buy local, because we are always buying from outside country, and we have our local thing that can sustain us from where we are.
Exactly. And I know you guys have had achievements, and you've probably gone through a number of challenges. Do you make this clear to the audience so that they know this is a journey and there's some effort to put in it? What has been some of your achievements?
Most recently, we were awarded the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year 2021 by the Lake Basin Innovation Week. So during that week, we were able to apply and showcase our products, and we were able to emerge as the best youth entrepreneurs within the Lake Basin region. We have also worked with a number of partners who have been able to incubate us, and one of those is Winam Capital. Through them, we've been able to learn how to structure ourselves as a startup and even present ourselves to not only to the local market but also to the international market.
And also we've gotten support from the county government of Kisumu through the governor, His Excellency Mr. Nyong'o. He has also supported through the trade department where we have gotten a lot of skills, and each and every time there is a function calling for traders and entrepreneurs, we always get alert so that we can also go there and display our skills. And also we participated in LAVLAC. It's a Lake Victoria Water Authority Conservation for East Africa. That was in 2017. Still, UFARTS became #1 project that is supporting the conservation of Lake Victoria.
Wow.
We also participated in Sister with a Mission project that was happening in Kisumu, supporting young women in Garissa. So these are some of projects that we are developing. We have also developed a program where we showcase our products at the showground and telling people more on recycling.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know you guys have some future plans. Yeah, so would you tell us something about them?
With the introduction of CBC, we plan to ensure that this or whatever we are doing is incorporated into the curriculum, so that we also engage our youth, not only our youth, but also our children from a very young age, to ensure that they know the importance of environmental conservation, and not only know, but they know that they can apply that knowledge into making items like these. And because they are also innovative, they can even come up with other portfolio of things that we can create, not only these ones.
So how do you intend to do that?
We intend to, currently we are in talks with Kisumu National Polytechnic, and the blueprint which we use in their curriculum is what we intend to also use as the CBC curriculum. We also intend to see that other children, it's taken as a subject, so that just like there are subjects like hygiene and nutrition, that this skill can also be taught as a subject, and we can have students coming in from various schools to come and learn it as a class.
Wow, that's amazing.
And also in Kenya, we are in a country that we are still struggling on how to manage waste. Especially right now, what we are doing, we are only collecting something that has damaged the lake already. So we are coming up with a mechanism on how to manage waste. For example, if I ask you now, how many dustbins do you have in your home?
Probably one.
One or two.
One.
So we are coming up with a mechanism on how we can have at least 5 dustbins in a homestead, so that we put things in the right bins. For example, we have plastic bottles that you've seen after we take our water.
Exactly.
We dip them into the same dustbin.
Yeah.
We have general bin. We have everything being dumped into the same place.
Yes.
So you find all these things are being thrown in one place, of which decomposition become a difficult thing, and also children playing with them. So when we have 5 dustbin, we'll be having dustbin for plastics, we'll be having dustbin for broken glasses, we'll be having dustbin for metals, we'll be having general bin, and any other thing that would feel comfortable within the 5 bins. So the bins are labeled. Kids are learning on how they manage waste even from home. So it's also an employment opportunity for the homesteads, because we'll be giving them a token and taking their waste and managing on their behalf, but they get some token on how they can also support themselves. So from this, we can even connect with companies that are dealing with metals, also doing the same recycling on the things that we cannot use at the same moment, so we can give them, so that they also find a source of a source of the materials they are using. So this is something that is coming up. We are really working on it so that we develop modality of waste management so that we stop the waste from reaching the lake. We manage them from the origin.
The primary sources.
Sure, so that we avoid those waste being swept to the lake, being dumped to the lake, because we don't know the criteria ways on how we can manage it from the low level to a high level. Sure.
That's amazing. I'm proud and I'm happy about the issue of dustbins. Yeah? Probably, if you ask me, I don't even organize my dustbin, and that's a good thing to bring on board. And as we wind up, I want you guys to just speak to the youths out there. Give them a parting shot.
Mine is to encourage both the women and the youth to come up and join us in these activities. There is enough to share for all. Don't just sit at home and think that without a formal job you're not able to gain any form of income. There is a lot of money in this, and there's also the sheer fulfillment of having created something from scratch, having removed it from the lake, and now that it's an item that can be used in a home. There's a sheer fulfillment of creation. So we encourage everyone to come and join us and partner with us. We also call for funders, because this is it's an activity that has a lot of impact. We're not only impacting the youth in terms of employment, we're not only impacting the environment, we're also impacting the future generation and also women. So we call for funders to help us to reach more, because currently, just as Ray mentioned, we are working with 15, but we can reach more women within Kenya and within Africa if we receive the necessary support and funding. So we welcome all the funders, we welcome investors, we welcome stakeholders like the government and youth, the primary sources of income like the youth, to come and partner with us to ensure that this is something that actually grows and we conserve our environment.
To my side, I would say that there's a wise man who once said that doing what you like is freedom, and liking what you do is happiness. So where your happiness finds you is the very important thing. For example, for us, we find it's a joy to conserve the environment and as well do the regenerative activities that bring us income. So I'm talking to a young person who is having skills, and you're still folding your CVs. You're still preparing your CVs to go for interviews, to look for a job. There's a job already. So we are calling upon you to come out, join us, work with us. We are calling upon young women who are still looking for different opportunities. There's an opportunity already. Come work with us. We network you, we build you, we grow you, so that you can become somebody sustainable in future. And lastly, on recycling, we are calling everyone to have responsibility of taking care of our environment. It's very key. Some of the diseases that we are suffering are as a result of mismanagement of the environment. So we are acting on it right now so that we become careful with the dumpings, we become careful with our surrounding, so that our future generation may have a clean environment that they can grow in.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so guys. I know there are people who would love to reach you guys. Do you have social media handles you can share, and maybe your contacts?
Yeah, so on social media you can find us on Facebook as Woolworths Kisumu. We also have physical showrooms. There's one in the Lake Basin Mall. So if you just come by and ask for if you ask for Woolworths Kisumu, you will be directed.
We also have another showroom at the Rotary. That is through the support of county government. We got a showroom at Rotary Training Center. We have our displays, and then our workstation is in Dunga, a place called Block or Lakewood Apartments. So that is where we are located. Our products are unique, beautiful, locally made, and surprisingly comfortable.
Kindly take us through some of your items and demonstrate to us some of the things that you've done, and so that the guys can see the beauty of your stuff, of your innovation.
Yeah, so Thank you very much. I think I will give Audrey time also to start. Ladies first.
Thank you.
Please go
So
ahead.
this was made by one of our members. It's from recycled paper. Remember that paper which we get in offices can also be recycled to make items like this. It's very diverse in that it has a lot of forms. You can have it like this. You can have it in this form. So it transforms into various shapes. It can be this way, you can have it this way, or it can be this way. So it transforms into a number of shapes.
This diffused with some lighting, I believe, brings a very good composition,
Yes.
especially at night.
Yes.
Wow, this is a very amazing art. I can see you have seats. Raymond, would you tell us something about the seats?
Yeah, so we have basically some few seats. The one that I'm pointing is purely made from water reeds. So the first seat that I'm handling is made from water reeds. So we harvest the wheat directly from the lake and we peel it into pieces. We allow it to dry so it's weaved properly, and we make this using a tire and the wheat itself, and also create a very beautiful shape, the one that you see. We also have a tire over here. These are tires that find their way to the lake. So this is one of our new design, the latest design that we did for a seat. It's very comfortable. It's a combination of leather and a cat tire. So we make sure that we shape them properly and make them comfortable for our customers. The other one over here is a drum. This is an oil drum that has been thrown away, so we recycle it and make a comfortable seat out of it. This is its chair. And we also have flower vases, I think Audrey mentioned. So flower vases are made from old clothes that we also find in the lake and the surrounding. This is a towel. We also do not spare shoes. If we get old shoes that have been thrown into the lake, we make them to flower vases and decorations. You can see this one over here. And we have even wall mirrors over there that are recycled from motorcycle tire.
Wow.
And many more stuffs that we have. And there are also storage. If you look at this one, you can have your things inside.
Can drop my water.
Yes, you can put your water, you can put even this flower vase can go in and you close it and nobody will realize that there's something over here.
Amazing innovation.
Yeah. And many other more products that we have from our handles. If you open our Facebook accounts, you'll be able to see the products that we have.
Good. If you are interested in the items made from UFATS and you want to reach them, they have their social media handles and their contacts running below the screen. This is a group of very innovative youths, and waste management has become an issue over the years. And you finding a group of youths and young ladies that have come on board and structured such organization to be able to curb this menace. This is what we are calling for. This is the call that youths need to get. As usual, this is the Future Talk Show. My name is Kelvin Odiwuor, and see you next time.